Lucy Maud Montgomery taught at the Lower Bedeque Schoolhouse, and her time there is now celebrated in a small tourist attraction. But it has not been easy for the local volunteers running the schoolhouse. They have a tiny budget, less than $2,000 a year in donations from visitors. The government also provides funding for 2 summer students. It's really a catch-22 for the group as they try to boost visitor numbers. If they had more visitors, they could promote more, but first, they have to keep the doors open for longer. Island Morning's Nancy Russell traveled to Lower Bedeque to bring us this story.
Hello.
July.
Hi.
July Edgecombe welcomes this group of about 25 tourists from Australia. July's son, Will, has been a guide at the Lower Bedeque Schoolhouse for the last 2 summers. They live across the road, so they've been recruited to open up the schoolhouse for today's visit.
This is an important building, and I think that if we could just have more people realizing that and embracing it, just maintaining the history of Lucy Maud Montgomery, who is a Canadian treasure.
Mary Kendrick co-chairs the board for the Lower Bedeque Schoolhouse. She used to operate a bed and breakfast around the corner from the site. But Kendrick now lives in Stratford, making it hard for her to be here to keep the schoolhouse open as she has for the last 6 years. The site operates on a shoestring budget.
We're usually under $2,000 a year. That pays for all of our insurance and our electricity, any repairs that we have to make, anything that we want to do as far as flyers, and our signage has to be paid through the government. Whatever we collect is going out in expenses, and there's really not a lot to spare.
Aside from donations at the door, Kendrick says her group relies on government funding for their 2 summer students.
If we don't open. If we don't get one of those grants, we don't open. It's not safe to have a student out there by themselves. To have somebody else there as a safeguard in case there is an accident is a must. If we lose one of them, the doors will be shut.
The students are only available for 8 weeks of the summer, so the site is only open through July and August. Kendrick says she also wishes they could do more marketing. The Lower Bedeque Schoolhouse doesn't even have a website.
They find us when they need to find us. We have a very little ad in the guide that we pay for. We have signage that directs people to us, and then we have locals that also promote us.
Then Anne looked at him with a vengeance.
One of the tour guides from Australia entertains her group with a reading from Anne of Green Gables.
Oh, they're very important because not only do they bring income because they pay a fee to come in, it's an opportunity for them to share what's here by taking pictures and sharing it on the internet and their blogs.
Many of the Australian visitors here today are fans of Lucy Maud Montgomery. The author taught at the school for just 6 months before having to return to Cavendish to care for her elderly grandmother. Montgomery never taught again. When her journals were published, Montgomery revealed she had a secret love affair with a man named Herman Laird, whose family owned the home across the road from the schoolhouse and where Montgomery lived during her time in Lower Bedeque.
Carried on quite an affair, and he was supposedly the love of her life.
Summer tour guide Will Edgecombe thinks there's lots of potential to grow visitor interest in this time in Montgomery's life.
Probably a bigger scope on the importance of her relationship with Herman Laird. I think not very many people know much about her private life, but that would be a pretty big piece of it. And I think that would definitely get a lot more people down here.
Another tour guide has brought her group to the schoolhouse and is ecstatic to find it open.
I get lucky once in a blue moon. I could probably count on, and I've been doing it since '07, and it's never open, but they want to come. So they want to see the schoolhouse. So basically we see the outside and we look in the windows, but that's all we can do. My name is Lori Crothers, and I'm with Fun PEI Tours. I started this tour company in 2007. I used to live in Japan. Actually, this lady here named her daughter after Anne of Green Gables. Henri is her name, so A-N-R-I. Loves Anne. You know, of course, I got to take them to every single place that is involved with Anne. Can't miss a one. It's a big part of our tour, you know, the Anne tour.
Mary Kendrick says her group understands the potential in attracting more fans of Lucy Maud and Anne of Green Gables.
We are not in Cavendish. We are not in New London. We are quite a distance from all of those Anne locations. So if there is an extreme fan of Lucy Maud, they will seek us out and find us. But because we haven't had the funds to be able to create our website, we need more dollars to be able to get ourselves marketed better.
Lori Carruthers says she'd be willing to pay an admission fee to bring her group to the schoolhouse, especially if it meant the building would be open more. Charging admission is something that's being discussed by the board of the schoolhouse, along with 2 other tourist attractions in the area. Tom Sherry is chair of the Bedeque Area Historical Museum and the Friends of the Sea Cow Head Lighthouse.
I believe what needs to happen is that we need a person in a supervisor role to oversee our workers in the summer and then help to keep the tourist attractions in the off-season going.
We are looking at possibility of joining so that we can assist each other and look at possibly doing a fundraising campaign together sometime in the near future. It's discouraging the fact that, we can only open it from July 1st until the end of August, and it would be nice to be open from June 1st to the end of September. But again, it all comes down to dollars. I mean, all of the provincial dollars are deemed for an eight-week program. All of the federal dollars, 8-week program.
Good luck with it.
Thank you. Thank you all.
Pleasure. Thank you.
Nice to meet all the people that come in and come by. A lot of them have really nice things to say. They're very impressed with the whole Lucy Maud story. I think a lot of them are impressed that such a small place like this, such a small but significant part of her life is still important to the community, because we all still work together to take care of it.
For Island Morning, I'm Nancy Russell in Lower Bedeque.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Thanks very much.
Thank you, Nancy, and you can check out our CBC PEI website for a photo gallery and video tour of the Lower Bedeque Schoolhouse.